are your thoughts and expectations around depression making it harder for you when the kind of ups and downs come, or is it helping you? So I want to talk about that today, and I also want to help you make some small adjustments so you can make this easier and not have to go through the grief cycle every time depression comes back. So we're going to get into all of that. So this has come up for a few clients lately, and that made me kind of want to shoot a video on it because it's a really big piece of a lot of things. And I kind of want to get into this in different categories because I think it kind of applies similarly to relationships, which I have talked a little bit about expectations in relationships. It applies with suicidal thoughts, it applies with a lot of things. But today I want to kind of focus on how it applies to depression, because this is something that so many people struggle with. And a few of my clients have talked recently about how when depression for them comes back, and it comes back strong, it's like this whole process of being like, what? Again? Like, this is back? And they go through like another depression about being depressed again, and it really is almost like the grief cycle. So if you look at the grief cycle, we have, I mean, depression is kind of one of the cycles, but we have like bargaining, we have denial, we have all of these things, and that comes up when a low hits, right? You're like, seriously, again? What is wrong with me? Why can't I like ever stay in a good place? Why do I do this? You just get kind of caught up in those feelings a lot, right? So that's something that we want to adjust, because it's actually making it a lot harder for you to deal with. Because, I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense why it's making it harder for you. And it really makes sense why we do it, because we hope that finally this will get better, finally this will get easier, or maybe this high will last longer, or all of that stuff. That's really normal stuff to think about, right? See my dog right here. So it makes sense why we do that, but it really sets us up for failure and to feel worse when depression comes back. And then this can also go the other way of when it comes, it's like, well, I knew it, like I knew I couldn't stay in a good place for very long. I knew this was gonna come back again. Like I'm just gonna be depressed forever. This is never gonna go away. All of those negative thoughts can come too. So basically, the expectation is setting you up either way, because either you're expecting that your depression will go away and not come back, or not come back for a long time, or you're expecting that it will always be there and it will never go away. And both of those things are gonna make all of this harder. And I know it's not easy just to change your thoughts, so that's not what I'm saying, but I want us to look at it. I want us to examine it. And I want us to find little ways that we can change it a little bit. And I help clients a lot to switch some of their negative thoughts or their self-talk, and that can be in little ways here. So when you feel your depression coming back again, you can try to acknowledge it without adding more shame to yourself. Because a lot of times the thoughts that come along with that are like, seriously, I can't like do any of this. I'm the worst, I suck, I can't manage this. All of those really negative and harsh thoughts. And really the ones I hear from people are worse than that, right? So if we can change that a little bit, like, okay, I feel this coming on, I feel like these symptoms, if you can kind of name the symptoms, this is coming up for me, what can I do? You know, who can I talk to? How can I kind of help this? And try to externalize it a little bit. I think that really helps. So it's this depression is talking, the depression is telling me this negative thing, the depression is coming back. Some people like name it even, or I have people that, you know, call it different things, or just call it like, you know, this piece is coming back again and it's talking to me. But it's not all me, and it's not that I am the worst. It's that this is coming back, and this is, you know, creating these thoughts for me and making this harder for me. So those little adjustments can really help, and really help us to be in a better spot to actually deal with it and not just be overwhelmed endlessly, right? And when we're looking at the expectations, there's a kind of thing that we want to create here that's a layer of acceptance with the ups and downs. And acceptance doesn't mean that we just like cave in and we're like, I don't care, whatever happens, happens, I'm not in control of anything, I suck. That's not acceptance. Acceptance is there will be ups and downs. Sometimes my depression will come on stronger than I want it to, of course. Sometimes it will last longer, sometimes it will be harder to kick, but I will be able to get out of it, and I will keep trying when it comes on. And there will be ups and downs in my life. So if we know that there are going to be ups and downs, then when the down comes, we're not as angry about it, because we're like, okay, this is what I prepped for, how can I deal with this, right? Because a lot of my clients will talk about that being the struggle. Like they have to go through all of these steps to get to the point where they're like, okay, I do need to do something, I don't want to, but I know I need to cope, I know I need help, I know I need therapy, and it takes them forever to get there. But if we accept already that there are going to be these ups and downs, then we can get from there, when it comes on, to getting help and doing something about it faster. Because you have to be coping with it, you have to be doing something, you have to be processing. But you guys know, if you've struggled with depression, that that's like the last thing you want to do. You don't want to do anything, and you feel so awful and you feel like it will never get better, so you're just like, you know, I'm done, I'm not going to try anything. But eventually, even if it's a, you know, a fight with yourself, still you can and you do get to the place where you try to do something about it, and we want to get there faster. So work on the acceptance piece. Kind of think about, okay, what do I need to accept? What would realistic acceptance look like for me? You know, what typically have my ups and downs look like? What do I need to prepare for? What would make me getting from the denial, angry, why is this happening to me again piece, to the coping piece faster? You know, what are the signals that that's happening? Who can I reach out to? How can I get more help? How can I cope? All of that stuff. Think about all of that and write it out, or talk it out, or both preferably, and then prepare for it and be more ready for it. So that's kind of, those are all kind of things that help, and I think those are things that are helpful to process in therapy too. If you have a therapist or you have a friend that you can talk to about it, journaling about this stuff is really, really helpful too if you process things by writing. If you need help from me, comment, message me directly. You can go through my website or email me directly, truetoyoucounseling@gmail.com, and I will be here to help. All right. Yeah, try it. Let me know if it helps, and I will talk to you guys soon.